I'm Kristina Svechinskaya, most known as the sexiest hiker in the world.
Born in Siberia, 1989, in the frozen city of Irkutsk, she had a difficult upbringing. Her father, a Soviet military officer and cybernetics professor. She was raised between discipline and digits, raised in poverty with a vision for millions. By age 12, her father had put her into a coding school and she already knew how to code in BASIC. Now, while she was doing very well at school, not everything was doing as well at home. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, her father would see him lose his job. The majority of the population had seen their living standards drop and their social services collapse. A massive rise in crime and corruption was on the way. She was broke yet brilliant, and she was brainwashed and recruited into a shadowy syndicate run by Eastern European cyber mafias. At this point, she was still studying at Stavropol State University and had signed up to the work and travel program in the summer of 2010 and arrived in Massachusetts. And at this point, she was working in a fast food outlet making little to nothing. And it was at this time some of her old-time friends that she was infatuated by decided to hit her up. More specifically, this guy, Rastorguev. He offered her 8 to 10% of any earnings that she could make. The work that she would do was still vague, but she was immediately signing up. She needed the money. And in the midst of this all, her father had passed away shortly after this had all happened. She had nothing to lose at this point. Kristina, along with a few accomplices, was advised to move out to New York so that they could tackle a wider variety of the states. Now, when Kristina had moved out to New York, she went under the aliases Anastasia Opokina and Svetlana Makarova. Now, Kristina landed in New York with a bang. She launched a modeling campaign with a small boutique based in Manhattan at the time. Now, the organization that she'd been sent there by did not care for her education at all. They saw her getting comfortable and knew it was time to pounce. Now she's comfortable, it's time to get to work. Her first task was to meet somebody on the New York University campus. Kristina was given a number of fake IDs, fake documents, and a USB stick. She was advised to dress extremely minimalistic, short dress, and a purse. Kristina was slightly hesitant, but she knew that there was absolutely no escape from this. Before she'd moved out to New York, she was given a little gift. Now, this gift was a large sum of money, basically as an attempt to groom her. Once you accept the cash, there's pretty much no saying no. Now let's get into the main bit of this. On this USB was a Trojan horse called Zeus Trojan. Nobody really knew what it was at the time. Now, in simple terms, this is how it would work. It's a type of malware that will disguise itself as a legitimate program or software, and it will trick you into downloading and running it. Now, once it's installed, it will have unauthorized access to absolutely everything. Your computer, your data, your keylogs. The key point in this story is the keylogger. The people behind this particular crime were specifically targeting banks and used multiple women, such as Kristina, as mules to get into the bank as physical Trojan horses. She herself was the malware. It wasn't an email. The Russian hackers knew that the American banks wouldn't be stupid enough to click an email with an attachment. So they intricately designed a USB stick that would automatically install the software onto a computer without leaving any trace. It would create a hidden entry point for the attackers to be able to control the computers remotely and see every single keylog that goes in. Kristina was tasked with going to a high street bank in downtown Manhattan to just make small talk with a bank employee. Her comrades had given her the specific task of targeting male bank employees. Kristina was a smooth talker, and using her looks, she knew she could get away with anything she wanted to. She'd try use all sort of buzzwords to try and get the employee to leave her in a room next to the computer. She'd talk about potentially opening an account or speaking to a manager. Now, when the employee leaves the room to go and get the manager or go get another employee, she would take the USB out of her heel, plug it in, and within less than 30 seconds, the malware is installed. At that point, all she has to do is take the USB out of the computer and she's all good. Now, upon the employee returning, Kristina would open a fake bank account using the documents that she was provided. This way, not only are the attackers able to get access to another US bank, they're also able to launder their money through that bank undetected because they have access to that specific computer. Suspicions were obviously heightened, but nobody had the finger pointed at Kristina just yet. After this first job, Kristina was able to keep $14,107 from it. But in turn, Stanislav and two of his accomplices would be able to launder through almost $40,000. Kristina lay low for a while and went back to modeling and just trying to enjoy her life while she was out there. Now, the main man behind this all, delegating everything, and he was the main ringleader, and at the time he was living in New York. His name was Artem Semenov. He had bigger plans. His eyes were set outside of the US. He knew that there was a little island by the name of the United Kingdom that was an untapped market at the time, and so he began devising a plan. He had a choice of 9 people he could pick to go out to England and go and clear some money there. Before he could send anybody out, he needed a way to launder all that money in New York. And so Kristina, along with 3 of her friends, were advised to all open different bank accounts so that they could launder the money through them. Around 25 Russian citizens aged 20 to 26 who all entered on student visas began opening numerous accounts. Now, bank employees started to notice a suspicious pattern and began reporting every single instance of this happening. Students from Russia who supposedly shouldn't have that much money are coming in, opening bank accounts, and then large sums of money are being deposited straight into them accounts, just to be taken out, flown abroad, and then the student comes back and closes the account. On top of that, because this is via wire transfers, you can see which accounts the money is being sent to and from. And a lot of the times when the mule has received the money in the account, the person who's had the money stolen will come into the bank and report the theft. Now, while the FBI were on heightened alert for these Eastern European fraudsters, and within 6 months, these Eastern European hackers had stolen $3 million from just 5 American banks. Now, remember when I mentioned England? Artem had sent a few of the girls out to London from New York. Now, Kristina wasn't directly involved. One of the passports that she had used in New York was taken over to London. A bank account was open and that person was living in Essex, and Essex to London is quite a distance. Ultimately, this is where a lot of things came crashing down. The police had raided the Essex house and arrested 11 people. Now at this point, Rasta Guev has no idea any of this is happening, and nor does Kristina, and Rasta Guev advises her to go out to another bank to go and do the exact same thing. At this point, they took a photocopy of the fake passport, which was Anastasia Opokina. Now at 6 o'clock the next morning, Sidorenko, Kristina, and 2 Moldovans were arrested at the exact same time. Now you can see here that she was in contact with a man by the name of Peter Rubashkin, which was later found out to be Rasta Guev under a fake alias. Now upon being caught, she would not stop crying, from when she was arrested to when she was in court to when she was being held in custody and when she was being interviewed. She would not stop crying. And I mean, I would understand why. She was threatened with a £1 million fine, which she knew she would never pay off, or over 40 years in prison. And it was at this point her picture actually went viral, people calling her the next Anna Chapman, Russia's sexiest cyber criminal. And at one point, Barack Obama himself even commented it wasn't my choice to send her back. Kristina alongside her friend Yulia Sidorenko were brought to court, Kristina wearing half boots and tight jeans and Yulia wearing a grey sweater with a large panda on the chest. The girls did not immediately demand lawyers and agreed to answer all the questions from the FBI investigators prior to this. She snitched on the entire operation. She gave names of everybody, everything that was happening, how she was advised to do it, literally every single thing she snitched. She gave the names of all the accounts that she had opened, she gave all of the funds back that she had stolen, and even went into detail about what the Zeus Trojan was. She received a very lenient sentence. She was put on supervised release and was banned from traveling outside of southern and eastern districts of New York. She was released upon signing a personal recognition bond, and until now, little has been known as to where she is today. However, after a bit of digging, I can tell you exactly where she is. And around about 2013, she attempted to start her own little business of selling a flash drive that had infinite cloud data. Obviously this flopped because she's known for literally using Trojans to hack banks and people's information. She graduated from Stavropol University in 2017 and is now married to a guy who owns a nightclub in New York. His name is Zhanin Krasov, and I believe this is a nightclub in both Stavropol and New York City. It's called Universe 11. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. If you're from New York, let me know. Now, I don't know if she's gone back to her old ways or if she's just been hacked, but she's clearly here posting about needing money for somebody who has been injured in her family. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt because this page hasn't posted in over 4 years, and I have also tried to reach out to everybody I could find association with to her. However, a bit of a language barrier, English to Russian, a lot of these people just thought I was trying to scam them or do some sort of craziness to them. I did get into contact with one person though, but they refused to give me an interview. He did leave me this comment though. From Russian translated to English, it translates to, "This stuff happened over 15 years ago. Why do you still care about it? Leave me alone." Anyways, if you guys are interested in any more of these videos, please be sure to like and subscribe. These videos take forever to put together, the research and all the editing, and it just helps me a lot more than you could ever imagine. And this is my 3rd YouTube video, so if you have any feedback, please let me know. I would highly appreciate it. All of the information, sources, mugshots, and FBI documents are linked in the description below if you want to find them. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.